What a lack of self-awareness, right? There is literally boys breaking down and crying, talking about sexual things that were done to them that you believe, right? Because you're clearly their supporters. And then you're making like sexual edits of that. That's insane. Like, can you imagine if edits existed of like the people talking about what Harvey Weinstein did to them? Just insane. Hi guys, I'm dying to talk about this trailer for the Menendez brothers show. For the first half of this trailer, I absolutely loved it. Thought it was just incredibly visually compelling. I thought all the dialogue that was going on was really interesting.
I need to know what's going on with you and the boys.
It clearly is leaning into the idea that the parents are monsters, if not the dad mainly. There are various kind of lines of dialogue where the mum is going, "What's going on with you and the boys?" And he's like, it's going to stop soon.
I'm going to fix this family.
It's just really haunting and effective. And as a dramatic retelling of this story, it looks like it's going to be good. I mean, amazing cast and a really interesting direction. I think it takes a lot of guts to actually take this direction and tell the boys a story if that's what Netflix is actually going to do. However, the back half of this trailer I found concerning. I found really, really concerning. It leaves the kind of like family photo that's being taken, this like holding shot that's zooming in with all the dialogue going over it. And then it cuts to just the two boys kind of looking to each other. But then it cuts to this like dream sequence, mirage looking thing where the two boys come out shirtless, covered in blood, and embrace. And I'm just going to like cut to it. I feel like this is sexualizing them. This feels fucking weird. This is really, really strange. I don't like it. I don't like it for a multitude of reasons. First off, I don't like this for the same reason that I don't like these edits of the Menendez brothers I've seen that are going around. Like, what is it with these people believing the Menendez brothers' story, right? Believing that this awful sexual-based abuse and violence was done to these boys, and then going, yeah, it's totally fair game to make edits of these boys crying about this in court, you know, crying about these horrific events. What a lack of self-awareness, right? There is literally boys breaking down and crying, talking about sexual things that were done to them that you believe, right? Because you're clearly their supporters. And then you're making like sexual edits of that. That's insane. Like, can you imagine if edits existed of like the people talking about what Harvey Weinstein did to them? Just insane. On top of that, this show is kind of leaning into the same thing. I don't think the boys murdered their parents shirtless. It just feels so strange to have this really tasteful intro shot that feels like it's actually going to tell the boys a story and then cut to them shirtless and embracing. Like, it just feels like queer baiting. It feels weird. It feels like it's targeting the audience that are making these weird sexual edits. Like, I don't know. If this was fictional, I'd be down for it. I'd be like, how weird, how strange, how artistic. But these are real people. They haven't changed the names. It's not inspired by. This is meant to be retelling. And it just feels so icky and shameless and just like, okay, so you're going to tell this story about how these boys were corrupted, how they were sexualized against their will by their own parents, and then sexualize them. And I don't even think that happened. I don't think they were found shirtless, embracing, covered in blood. It's so fucking weird. It's so strange. Like, and even if you want to make the argument like, oh, before they went and saw Batman, they would have got changed, you know, and maybe they like hugged because they were both going through a hard time. Don't give me that. Like, the way it was framed, they're not crying. It's this weird, like, sexual. I just hate it. It feels like under the skin. It's really strange. So look, it takes a lot for me to get annoyed. I normally like really dark, strange shit. Like, that's the type of stuff I love watching. But this to me feels bizarre. And I think it's really rich for people to go like, oh, you know, what was done to these boys was a miscarriage of justice, and what the parents did was absolutely awful. Both things I agree with, but then sexualize these boys against their will. It's just awful. It's really bizarre. On top of that, a lot of people that support the Menendez brothers talk about the fact that if it was the Menendez sisters, they would have got away with it. And the fact that the Menendez boys were sentenced to jail and not believed in court, the fact that happened is reflective of the fact that we don't take sexual things against boys seriously, against men seriously. And in my opinion, having such a tasteless ending to this trailer, as well as all these tasteless sexual edits, feeds into that narrative. Again, I cannot picture the victims of Harvey Weinstein being sexualized in this way and it being okay, whether it be in an officially made Netflix trailer or if it's like weird edits. Rose McGowan was crying in court about all the awful things Harvey Weinstein did to her, and like some dude bro made like a thirst edit, I think it'd be cancelled, and rightfully so. And if Netflix was going to make a dramatization of the Harvey Weinstein situation and then had two girls come out in lingerie and embrace, people would find it fucking insane. So yeah, whatever. That's my opinion. I'm not really open to having my mind change, and I'm excited for the show. Like that first half, it had me. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to make a really good dramatic retelling of it. Going to be interesting what the discourse is going to be. Going to be interesting, like what controversies come out of it. But like, fuck me. Like I did not like the back end of that trailer. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and have a lovely day. Thank you.